definitely got the end of the song in this on accident somehow. Well, there you go.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us on a beautiful Saturday night pre-game podcast. Pat, what are you bitching about? Always bitching about something, aren't you?
You are living rent-free in my soul at this point.
And that's what I like to be on a Saturday night. Number 5 here, ladies and gentlemen, for the boys counting back at home. That will be number 5 right here. What is wrong with me? I started with a beautiful.
You're thirsty.
Listen, I ran 6 at a leisurely 8:45 pace.
Nice.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Did 6.5 because I was bored.
What a champion.
Got home, immediately went out with Pat and Chris to do par 3. Pat was super sweet. He wanted to do the full 9 real course. I was like, no chance.
What course did you guys go to?
We did the Displains.
Okay.
Yeah, Displains par 3. Mm-hmm. We all hit really well. Pat could drive, hit a grounder 150 yards. Easy. This motherfucker, everything, grounder 150.
I'm working on some things in the golf swing.
Mm.
Hey, good for you, man.
It happens. And Chris McGraw. So it was me and Chris McGraw going toe to toe, and we think we kept score. We think we actually tied.
Nice.
+9. So +9 on a par 3 is you are dog shit golfer. Dog shit. But a lot of fun. My game plan. Oh, actually, let me go grab a vitamin here in a second here.
Grab 2.
Yes. The game plan was not to have any. We got there. We got to Displains Golf Center 30 minutes early, and I was like, oh, maybe we'll hit a couple extra balls. I'm like, hey, you want to? I come in. I'm like, hey, you want to go grab an extra ball or something? Chris like, yeah, or we could just go to the bar and have a beer. And I was just like, mentally, I said it. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, I don't want to be the first one to say it.
And then he's like, yeah, maybe we just go to the bar. I'm like, oh, wow, okay.
Since you said it, I mean, twist my arm.
Yeah.
I got the first round.
Sit outside. It's beautiful. Before it's too hot, we're out on the patio.
Yep.
A little shaded. Text Pat. Didn't realize Pat was already there hitting some swings. So I'm like, hey, Pat, we're just at the bar. Pat literally shows up 2 seconds later. I'm like, oh, where'd you come from?
Only like a 30-foot walk.
Well, I didn't know you were there. So your 2 seconds later after my text was,
shit, my nightmares are coming true.
Yeah, seriously. He's
just pop up out of nowhere now.
He's living rent-free next to me.
Yeah.
Then, we go on par 3. Me, Chris, and Pat had a wonderful time. Beautiful conversation, beautiful weather, nobody in front of us. We didn't wait a second.
Nice.
Just absolutely beautiful.
Prevent the sweat at all.
Nope. I think I burnt my neck, but that's okay. We don't talk about that. So then, but I also have a lunch date with Tommy at 2. So we get done in an hour. 9-hole par 3, done in an hour. That's probably the best time you could do ever.
Nice.
Go have another beer because I got time to kill. So these guys are nice enough. And then we're shooting the shit. Pat's ruining my lives with how much the roof is going to cost. Great times.
That's what I do.
Chris and Pat go home. I go over to lunch.
Via Target, yes.
Yes, via Target. And then I go out to this.
There wasn't time for Bed Bath & Beyond.
Home Depot?
It wasn't time for Home Depot.
Oh, that sucks.
Chris is anti-Home Depot.
So I get to this place. I'm thinking I might maybe have one beer, but I didn't think I was gonna have any beers.
Okay.
I get there, we sit down for lunch, me and Tom.
I have 9 beers.
Yeah. I'm not thinking anything.
9 beers.
So Tommy goes like, hey, can you send your drink menu over? And I'm
Tommy was
like,
on the wagon for a while. He's off the wagon hard, huh?
He's like, can we see that drink menu? I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're gonna. Okay, so I'm like, all right, I'll have a Mexican lager. Cool, no big deal.
Didn't you go to a Mediterranean place?
Yep, had a Mexican lager.
That seems
nice and slow. I'm slow playing this beer, trying to be cool.
Milking it.
He's like, oh, I said I was gonna have 2. You want to have another one? I was like, I mean, I don't want to be the guy who says no.
I guess I'll finish this one.
These are all 16-ounce beers. 4 16-ounce beers, Joe.
Yep.
I'm driving home as an adult, as a man. I've never been closer to pissing myself than the drive home from the Mediterranean place. I'm sitting in there. I'm parking. God was on my side. He said, all right, Pete, I get it. I'm going to give you the front spot right in front of the door.
Nice.
I'm holding my toe. I'm curling my toes the entire ride.
Oh.
I get there, and I'm just trying to get a decent park in. And I'm going, I'm like, buddy, the door's right there. We're fine. Oh, no.
Of course, the closer you get, the body's like, oh, we're getting ready
fuck.
to release the valve.
I get to the door. I drop the keys. I'm like, because I have 2 sets of keys. So I drop one key. I'm like, motherfucker, okay, grab that key. I'm fidgeting. I'm shaking, trying to open the door. Literally 3 times to get the door open. Get the door open. Get to the second door. Drop the keys again. I'm like, oh God, I might die. Get this up. I have a stairwell up, and then I'm at the door. I literally jump 4 steps on the first jump. Get in there. I come in. I fucking open the next door, throw everything on the counter, and run right to the bathroom. Lauren is giggling like a schoolgirl. She's like, woo, woo. And then so I can hear her laughing. I'm like, ah!
Just
the happiest man ever. I used the washroom. I come out, and she's like, I thought you were going to poo your pants.
Gonna fudge the huggies.
Fudge the huggies. I've never come closer in my life. It was one of those things. And then why I bring this whole story from start to finish was,
You're an alcoholic?
well, hey, no.
He's competitive.
Where's your beer at? I'll drink that beer on you. There was an Instagram post of, next time somebody tells you you're an alcoholic, drink their beer, and be like, no. I forget what, there was a whole thing to it. I should look it up. But so the whole reason I brought that whole thing up is we were leaving. I knew I had to pee when we were leaving the restaurant. I did take a pee midway through. I used the washroom midway through dinner. So we're walking out, and it's like one of those, like, it's just me and him, and I don't want him to have to wait. So I'm like, it's 15 minutes away.
Yep.
What do? You don't inconvenience him. You shake hands. You have a little conversation outside, and then you pray to God it's not as bad as you think it's going to be.
That's
I would have just been like, see you later. I'm going to go piss.
No, I definitely would have done what Peter did, because
That's insane to me.
And then I would go as I'm here's how it would have gotten worse, Pat, because then I would be walking to the car and going, I know I'm gonna have to like piss so bad by the time I'm gonna be struggling this whole
You guys are
ride.
going to be thinking about that piss the whole time.
I should just turn around, walk back into the restaurant, and use the restroom. But no, they're going to see me and think I'm a psychopath weirdo who, can't control himself somehow. So I have to use the restroom one last time. And I just can't go through that anxiety.
You guys have got a lot of thought to this.
I'm just dealing with the physical pain of my bladder feeling like it's about to burst. And I'm just racing home playing Mario Kart in real life coming through. So I absolutely get it.
Yeah, I'm good.
Thank you, sir.
Technically, you should have had that with your first alcohol drink 6 hours ago.
No.
Nah, those were hydration beers. Post-run.
I mean, they were lining Kugels. They're pretty light.
No, see, I'm on the opposite thought here. I think 2 beers in, I go one before or with my first drink. No dice. Doesn't work. After the first 2 drinks, I feel it's the most productive for me.
Gotcha.
It's tried and true test of method, here, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen, you gotta test things out. Was it, certain? Listen, we do it enough that we can test each condition individually on its own.
Why not either? Like, I don't get why. Like, don't give me a. So when we were talking about that last conversation, I was coming over here and I was coming up with some podcast ideas. I knew immediately this psychopath would be like, no, I don't give a fuck about anybody else. I would just go take a piss.
I don't understand why it's weird that if you're leaving a restaurant and then you gotta go piss, you take a piss. And if someone's standing there or not.
But so then he's gonna wait outside because he wants to say goodbye. You don't.
Yeah.
You haven't seen him in a while. You want to give him a hug. You want to say goodbye.
You're like, I'm gonna piss my pants. I'll be back in a minute.
Yes, but then you're inconveniencing
I think
him.
most people would be like, okay, yeah, I get it. Or maybe he'd be like, oh, I gotta piss too.
See, there's
we can hold each other's dicks while we're pissing.
There's totally a total different like we don't want to inconvenience anybody.
Yeah.
Or you could give a fuck about who you inconvenience.
Yeah, because you don't want to like. You're like,
you also don't have to wait for me outside.
I leave now. I ruin the chance of us having like a
good
last minute conversation outside.
You could have just called him on the ride home
goodbye.
after.
Yep.
Here's
give him that shake. Like, hey, it was great. You want to thank him for inviting you out for a nice lunch.
Yep.
I fucking ruined that. He's now sitting. It's hot outside.
Oh my God.
Here's what you can do, Peter.
You just hold on.
Yep.
Oh God. Go ahead. I have a new thought similar.
Hit it, Pat.
So you could have taken a piss, gave him a call, and the whole 15-minute ride home. Talk to him again on the way back. Had a little powwow. Get all your feelings out.
Yeah, I'm with you though.
Thanks, Joe.
I
just know you're a better person than Pat. That's why I knew.
Well, that's not a high bar to cross.
It really isn't. You make it so easy. Like, there are some probably people in jail that are literally a step above you.
I'll tell you a situation that I came through this week, and I can tell you that this would never happen to Pat ever in his entire life. Okay, this is another situation. So I help some people move this week. I don't know if they care about their names being on the podcast. I'm not sure. So I'll just say like this couple that we know helped him move.
Is it Brian and Grecia?
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
I don't know. I just
we talked about their wedding.
I'm always. Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah.
Brian's been off camera for a few podcasts. Not today though.
Oh, yeah.
He's in San Diego. And Grecia comments on our post all the time.
Okay, cool.
She's a sweetheart.
So helped him move. Came home. It had started to rain at the end of it, so we were kind of like walking up his back stairs. So I had to take a shower when I got home. Got home, took a shower. As I was driving home, I saw a text from Grecia saying like, "Thank you." You know, she wrote this beautiful, very nice text, and I was like exhausted after I got out of the shower. So I'm like, oh, but I have to respond. Like, it's now been an hour, maybe 2. I don't know how long it's been since the podcast or the text message came in. But I'm like, I'm tired, and I'm like, you know what? I take a screenshot, I pull it into ChatGPT, and then I go, listen, this is what I'm trying to express. Can you put it into words for me? Right? So I give it like
this
my
is a little much, but okay, yep.
I'm just like,
I'll tell you a story. Well, I'll tell you an off story because
very nice,
yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to sound like an idiot and be like, yeah.
I think about
get the thumbs up and move on. Like,
yeah, like that was not like I couldn't just respond with like a thumbs up. You know, like
our run chat group together.
Oh yeah.
When I said I'll make sure of that later tonight, I was like, oh, this is the wrong group chat for that, Peter.
No,
I literally every text message I send in that one, I read 7 times over. So be careful.
I looked for.
I mean, do they speak Peter text anyway?
Someone helping someone else do yoga in like a sexual way, and I was like, no, not for this chain, not for this chain, but that's what I thought.
Yep.
So it spits out a message. I'm like, okay, I want to cut these things out. I just copy it over. I'm like, and I start from the bottom up. So I, take things out. I add some things in here, and I get to the top, and I'm like, all right, great, we're good. Send it. I get into bed. And I'm laying in bed for like a minute or two, and I'm like, you know what? I never like really like looked at top to bottom and gave it the last look. And at the top of the message, it's like from ChatGPT. Here's your recommended message based on your suggestions. And it's like dot, and then it's like, hello. It's like all the professional stuff. And I was like, oh, shit. So I edit it. And I'm like, I've never edited a message in Signal before. So I was like, how the fuck do you do this? I'm like, bleh. And I do it. And I'm like, okay, it didn't have the double check mark, so nobody looked at this yet. But sometimes you can see them. And of course, the banner comes up. It reads the first sentence in the message if you have it available. And it's immediately like, ChatGPT suggests you say this. And so she just responds, thanks, ChatGPT. And I basically died.
And forever.
I died.
You can look at it 2 ways, Joe. You could look at it that you cared so much that you didn't want to sound like an idiot. You went to ChatGPT. But ChatGPT failed you, correct? They failed you.
I failed the editing process, and I did not.
They're like, there's a warning. Note, ChatGPT, you must take off the from ChatGPT part at the top.
Yeah. It was like midnight at this point. Like I really was just exhausted, ready to get into bed, and I just fucked it up.
That's a good joke. That's a good one.
So that hurts.
That humors me. I like that one.
Pat's like, yes, your pain gives me pleasure.
I feel stronger.
More.
Fuck you, Pat. To the bottom of my heart. You don't give a fuck about people who do when you're trying to be a considerate person. This poor man trying to convey a great message, and you're like, "Yeah, you suck."
No,
I enjoy that.
I think it's sweet that Joe tried to go.
Oh yeah,
try to do all this work.
Don't backpedal now.
And then
be as bad of a person as you can be. All right.
We say this. Pat was here originally trying to fix Chris's lock.
Yeah.
Like,
Pat's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Pat comes off.
We give him a lot of shit on this, but
he comes off as the biggest pain in the balls, but he's the sweetest of them all.
Yeah.
All right.
Guys.
That's like, shut the fuck up.
I got an image.
Do you know how hard it is to
Katrina thinks I'm a real asshole.
People start talking to me on the streets now. I don't want to be talked to by people.
When I go to parties, people will come up to me and say hello. Do you know how much I hate that?
So much.
Do you know how much I've worked?
Okay, so I got a few things for last week's news to start off. Well, actually, that was pretty good.
I didn't catch that article.
We got to start with last week's 146 I think, or no 246 I believe. So we're at 247. 246 was a Friday night pregame to Ballerina. We did talk a little bit, but I'd love to get your thoughts on the movie.
Oh yeah.
Did we not talk about it last week?
Not on the podcast, but we did talk. I mean, we talked about it. Yeah. I'll give you mine. I thought I went in wholly not understanding what the plot was going to be, waiting for something totally different the entire movie. But I enjoyed the shit out of it. I thought it was great. But I was waiting for an entirely different movie.
Peter told me this at the end of the movie.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was after John Wick 4. I did not realize this was.
the
I
middle.
thought it was. I'm waiting for this Asian woman to come out and start whooping some ass or something. I'm like, where does this lady come in on this?
Hold on. To give context, spoilers for John Wick 4. Here's your
It's
warning.
been out for like 4 years now.
Yeah.
Like, give you-
That's a fair call.
That last bit takes place near just before the very end of the movie. They're in Japan.
Yep.
At the hotel, and one of the guys that comes, he kills that guy, and he has a daughter, and the daughter, Keanu says to her, I'll look out for you. I understand, basically conveys like, I understand you're going to come hunting for me someday.
Yeah.
Which makes it seem like, and in the movie, it seems like this will be an issue for him in the future.
Exactly.
Like they make a big point of it.
not so much.
Yeah. So Peter tells me that at the end of this movie, and I'm like, holy fuck. This whole movie, he's waiting for this Japanese woman. It fucking rocked my world.
I'm like, we're going way back in time to come all the way back to the fourth one. What the fuck?
Peter's like, we're 2 hours in this. I haven't seen this Asian lady one time.
I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? But so that's on me. No one else's fault. Definitely my
That's
fault.
hilarious. And also completely understandable.
But it was, I honestly thought it was a great movie. I thought she was great. There were a lot more laugh out loud moments in that movie.
Yeah.
Like when she gets to the one little city and everybody and their mother is ready to kill her.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of fucking laugh out loud moments.
Dude,
I thought it was funny when it was like she was fighting, getting trained at the beginning, and then like she finally realized she just kicks him in the nuts.
Yes. Oh yeah. And then at the end,
Yeah.
she back kicks him. Yeah, that was
Yep.
good.
The propane fight was so goofy,
Oh,
but then had
yes.
some of the most cool visual moments.
I loved how the flames were very stationary in the background. Like the fire was not spreading anywhere, just burning casually wherever it was at in those fight scenes.
I think with that, well, yeah, of course it had. There's
just
no.
it's almost like a fire pit in the background, just
Yeah.
just burning
Very
up.
true.
The show was
Yeah, I know, I
coming
know,
from
I
the
know, I
gut.
understand.
I mean,
It's a
even
movie.
that like host scene was really cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then the fire versus the water versus that was cool, but everybody's just like, all right, come on, this is getting a little ridiculous.
It's like it's a cool visual, but in the moment you're like, why the fuck? Does anybody have a gun? I would pull out a pistol at some point and just shoot.
Oh, 100%.
Like
The frame
That's
per
what I thought
person.
too.
There was-
She's fighting 6 people, taking on 6 individually. These 6, are we all just waiting our turn?
Yes, yeah, you have to take a number. It's like a meat counter.
yeah,
The other thing is John Wick comes in with like a wedding suit in the coldest city in the world.
Oh, yeah.
He's not cold. We're just pretending he's not cold.
He's not cold. He's not
he's
cold.
John
man.
Wick.
He's John
man.
Wick.
He's got it. He's got it on lock.
Come on with a little bit more of
I
a
did have
jacket.
to ask Chris. I'm like, didn't that guy die in real life?
I
The one
was,
guy?
yeah, that was the one thing I was confused about because they did portray the moment where he from the first or second movie, like where he gets the what do you call it? Like it's like
Brand?
an iron brand. Yeah,
Yes,
they
yep.
brand them, and that's like I can't remember if it's the first or second movie.
I think it's
but-
the first one because it's over a
First
puppy.
one. Yeah. So maybe, yeah, whatever. So they show that scene. So you're like, oh, this takes place back in time. But then they go forward in time, like 2 or 3 months later. They say it on the screen. And I don't know when the John Wick stuff was. So I was like,
Yeah.
wait, is he alive after the end of the last one? And this is.
He's still alive, bro.
So the timing I also didn't get. But I thought it was a fun movie. And then I
Yes,
was
it's
really.
an awesome. It's a fun movie.
I mean, clearly the lady Anna de Armas is the main character.
Yep.
And
Better
it's
one,
like
Peter.
her, battling through all these people. Yeah, yeah.
He's like, there's a lot of time screen time for a secondary character in this movie.
But I was like, I
I'm not
hope,
getting a lot of screen time right now.
I hope they don't do that thing because there was a moment where her and Keanu had a throwdown, And I was like, well, she's been a badass through like a lot of this movie.
Yep.
Is she now going to be able to absolutely like fuck up and stop this guy? Like,
Yeah,
I didn't know
the
what was
boogeyman,
going to
no
happen.
chance.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not even a little
And
bit.
they didn't. They're like, yeah, there was. It wasn't even a contest. And I was like, okay, at least they're keeping that
Yeah.
bit of like status and power and ability and stuff in line.
Yes. So then, and
Like
then
the world building stuff was still very
which
cool.
led to a unbelievable Saturday of rooftop partying,
Oh yeah.
hotter than hot.
Sweating.
Yes.
From
yes.
that to Murphy's. Murphy's
Yep.
is a bar next to Wrigley.
If you don't know Murphy's, then you just don't know.
Go to Margaritaville. We've been drinking
Did we go right
nonstop.
from Murphy's to Margaritaville?
Yeah. Dinner was at 7.
That's right.
Had a nice dinner. Unbelievable cocktails.
Yep.
Like unbelievable.
Margaritaville
Yep.
at Navy Pier, by the way.
Yep. To Steve
touristy.
Aoki. And fucking props to this dude. The best set. It was better than the Omni set that he
Yes,
did.
yeah.
It was with the fireworks in the back, the breeze in your face.
Yeah, they had the
This
fireworks
set
from
was
Navy
insane.
Pier.
And he went 2 fucking hours. There's
Yeah.
no way in my head I'm thinking, we're
I
done at
didn't-
10.
When he came on it was like 9:30.
Yeah, 9. I think it was like 9, maybe 9:30.
Around 9, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was
9.
around 9. I think he gave us 2 fucking hours.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, he's coming on now. He's got to be. Yeah,
Because
maybe
we
that's
only
what it
caught
is.
like the last
'Cause if it
15
was
minutes. The other guy.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
fair, but I mean, they also deconstructed and reconstructed up the desk or the booth that they put all their stuff on. Because I remember he's like, no, we're going on, and they were still setting up like the last part of the stage.
Yeah,
Screens that
They're
they
still
did to
baking
run
the
the
cakes.
image. Dude, he launched so many cakes.
It had to have been about 20 cakes.
Yeah, there's a lot of cake.
A lot of cake with a lot of velocity
Cake me.
behind it.
Yeah, he doesn't get cheated than cake.
Me. Dude,
Yeah.
one of the best sets I've seen. That would be top. Tiesto, 2 days after January or New Year's. Timmy Trumpet for New Year's. Steve Aoki, Navy Pier. Some of the Pat's Fisher's bachelor party.
Yeah.
Some of the best fucking sets I've ever seen. That one, I just remember thinking like, just fucking take this. The sun is coming down.
Yeah.
Steve is just killing it. There was no nonsense. It was even Frank was like, he was just going,
Oh, yeah.
dancing his ass off.
There was a moment, I think Brian was saying it. He's like, dude, I think Frank's done. And he looked like,
You know, he gets
this
high
is-
praise for a few minutes.
when the first, oh yeah, when we got there with the first DJ, probably wasn't feeling it. But once Steve Aoki came on, he was like jamming.
He's having a blast.
Yeah.
Go from there to Bub City.
Yup.
Do a whole night of
Walk
Bub City.
to Bub City.
Walk to Bub
That's
City.
where we're at, Bub City.
Yeah.
Did Bub City, we there for an hour.
When we walked into that place, by the way, she grabbed, I think I was the last one in the line. She grabbed my wrist and put the stamp on it. And she goes, why y'all so sweaty? And I was like, lady, it's 90 degrees outside, and we've been outside all day. We are, I go, we are.
She got the combo of me and Joe back to back, and he's like, "What the fuck is we doing here?"
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
It was.
But there was I know I woke up at a stamp like here. Is that the bub? That was the beauty bar one. That was the beauty bar one.
Who's grabbing wrists?
Yeah.
And like grabbing the
We also
hand?
paid for an hour. I remember walking out of there being kind of pissed.
Yeah, beauty bar got me here.
Did we
Well,
go-
the guy literally, he was done. That was it.
Yeah. So dumb question. I was browning out towards the end of Bub City. Did we go right from Bub City to Beauty Bar, or did we go to Enjoy and then Beauty Bar?
No, we went straight to beauty
Yeah, went
bar.
straight to beauty bar.
Yeah, we got a taxi.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. I just want to make sure. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if we stopped
I
at.
think I got an Uber though. I think so. I think I had an Uber.
I think. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember how we got
I had a lot of
there.
Uber charges last weekend.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, Pat. I don't know if you left right from Bub City or if you got to Beauty Bar.
No, he got to Beauty Bar. I remember him and Pat, or him and Frank saying around 2:30, them saying, "Hey, we're out."
Yes. Okay, that makes
And
sense.
then we
to me.
walked
Yep.
Danny home,
Yep.
and then we booked it from there.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I was home by 3. I
Yeah,
think it's 3
About the same thing. Like 2:45, 3 o'clock.
up at 9:30, feeling like $100.
I think I got up at 10.
And then I went
But
to
yeah,
the
I
gym.
felt good.
Felt like because of this fucking thing. Went to the gym, worked out, and then just had a day of it. We had a whole actual it was nice because we didn't have shit to do. There wasn't a birthday party.
I didn't plan shit last Sunday for a reason.
Yeah, Father's Day, nothing. It was just
It was
Do
a nice
you?
lull. I'm pretty sure. I think I did laundry. That might be the only thing I do.
I made bread. It was terrible. I cut up. The only problem is because it's funny because my apartment is really cold because of the air conditioning, so it didn't proof. I put it outside and started the proof and didn't realize that that was the issue. But it is what it is. Then we went to.
How cold do you keep in your apartment?
Like 73. You need it to be like.
Proofing is you gotta have it hot.
So then but we also went to the pool at Jefferson Park, and just laid out and had it was nice.
Oh, nice.
Did that till 5. Went home, in bed by 9. It was fucking. It was a great. Last weekend was one of those weekends where you're like, yeah, you're very blessed to have this type of weekend.
Yeah, that was. I remember going up to Pat at Bub City, and he's like, I just go up to Pat and I go, Pat, and I have my hands like this. I go, hey, if you could do me the biggest favor, if you could get me, please get me a Tito's and Sprite instead of a Coors Light. And he goes, we all have those moments, Joe, where it's time for a Tito's and Sprite. I got you. Don't you worry.
The best thing Pat told me today, so we were talking about Brian's wedding and the after party of Brian's wedding. And Pat tells me, he's like, I bought 11 or 12 lemon drops.
Shots, yeah.
And Danny goes to him and he's like, you are never going to financially recover from this.
I almost cried laughing when he told me, honestly. I almost like died.
It's such a good line. Those Hamiltons, they're fucking funny guys.
They are, man.
All right, let's get into some last week's news to start this week off. All right. Okay, so Dave Portnoy did a review of La Villa Pizza this week.
Get out.
And Dino's.
Was it really Dino's too this week? Mm-hmm. He did. Yes, I didn't see Dino's.
What did he say?
He gave it a 7.
He's not a big Chicago style guy.
He doesn't. Yeah, he's not a big tavern guy.
Oh, okay.
He gave it a 7.3
for La Villa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not terrible.
Yeah. I think he said. I think on his scale, anything like above an 8 or an 8 or above is like worth traveling to go.
I gotcha. That's fair.
So like in the 7s is like it's solid like local pizza kind of thing.
Yep. He said and now he kind of fucked me up though because Chris got pizza from a place over here. He's like tavern style. He's like this is a good pizza, but he's like these motherfuckers. It's all the same. He's like all the tavern style in Chicago, the cheese tavern style are all the same. Like there's no difference. The sauce is the same. The cheese is
that's why you get like that's where you get like toppings, and toppings are just where you get the difference from.
But he's just like. He's like, it's good, but it's just average. It's just run of the mill tavern style pizza. What am I don't got anything different here. And now Chris had this pizza last night, and I had a little slice of it, and I'm like, fuck, he's right. This all like you just taste it like this is. There's no difference from this and Joe's.
I mean, the sauces can be different. Some are a
little
spicier,
bit, yeah. But there's a lot of the sauces are very similar though. Feel like for me personally, like
I will say maybe Pat's right. Like with the toppings thing. I do like...
Sausage is very different.
Which leads into my next question, but go ahead, Joe.
The sausage is very different, you know?
I was going to say La Villa and Dino's, to me, are two very similar tasting pizzas, and it's why I like them more than, say, Pete's on Western or...
Love Pete's Pizza.
Yeah, Pete's sauce is definitely sweeter, too.
But it is a different tasting, where La Villa and Dino's, for me, they taste similar, so I like them both.
Yeah.
I just happen to
grow
up
by my
by
parents'
Dino's.
house, like Marie's over there used to be like, it was like a really, really thin crust, so it was much different tasting too.
Oh, yeah.
Still a tavern style.
Almost like crunchy. Yeah.
So they did, on Fox News this week when we were at the gym, they did, what is the most popular one topping for pizza? And I thought that would be a great question. What's your, you can only have one.
What I think the answer is.
No. What for you? Like, what's your one topping? If you have to have a pizza and you can only have one topping.
I'm a pepperoni guy.
Oh, I'm sausage.
Oh yeah, sausage.
Yeah, we know you like the old sausage, Joe.
I don't mind bacon, but I think sausage gives you definitely more of a flavor.
I always feel like pepperoni you get a more standard across the ballpark. Yeah. Sausage or some are better than others for sure.
Yeah, like you can get Papa John's, you get breakfast fucking sausage.
You do get breakfast sausage.
That is fucking.
But also, if you order Papa John's pizza, you're asking for yourself.
Hey, fuck you, Papa John's, with your breakfast ass pizza.
You should get the shakaroni, bro.
Did you guys, again, so I had a wonderful conversation with Tom all day today, at lunch. We went to too much, but we did talk politics. And
Oh God.
we went lightly into politics, nothing like crazy.
Tommy's got some.
He's definitely
opinions.
different on the political spectrum than I am. But we did talk about one thing in Florida. They've set up what's called the Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah, I saw this.
I have not heard about this.
I thought they're trying to set up. I don't think they had set up.
I think it's they're going to do it, and I only think it's going to cost
There are some interesting consequences of this.
So they are going to put a bunch of trailers on this old airfield. I think it's like an air base, but so they've got this airfield. They're going to put a bunch of those trailers. You know, like the when we go to Northern Ireland, they got those pissers.
Okay.
They're going to put things like that as, and they don't need a bunch of staff.
It's basically going to be escape from New York on an island in Florida.
So they're not going to need a bunch of, they're not going to need gates, all that stuff, because once you're in, the only way out is through gator, python, bobcat, jaguar, or panther.
And they're just going to airdrop you in there. They're just going to airdrop you in there, hoping that you can.
This is going
to
be.
You land the
is this going to be like a prison?
This is going to. No, this is for a detention center for immigration.
Oh my God.
So they're just going to put you in there, and then they don't have to worry. In the cost, the reason they want to do this, well, to dehumanize people, but the real, like what they say is it wouldn't cost anything because they don't have to worry about security. Good luck. Go out there.
But you're also going to have to put I mean, people are literally going to die there because it's so hot.
This is legitimately what we did to the Japanese in World War II.
Yep.
I think it's worse actually.
I mean, yeah.
We'll talk about this in 100 years and be like, what the fuck were they saying?
We'll talk about this in next term and be like, dude, what the fuck were we doing?
Yeah,
Well,
it's
not
awful.
we, but like the fact that this is it. I heard it was a guy on the radio. I was listening to the radio, but he was quoting someone, and it was just very interesting because you get all wrapped up in politics, but it's like the Iranian people don't hate American people, and American people don't hate Iranian people. It's the governments that are going towards each other. And you got to, to take that step back and recognize that is important because
I
people
don't even
get
think,
wrapped up.
I think 80, I truly feel 75% to 80% of Americans have no fucking interest in a war with Iran.
Yeah. Like they don't,
I would hope it's higher than that.
I would too.
I would hope it's higher.
But I think there's some people who are very, very washed by the MAGA.
I don't know if but MAGA's not a go invade. They're nice.
No, but I'm sorry, but no. But
fighting Iran, I mean, you have
no,
people
but you're
in their
a go
60s
if
who
Trump's.
wanted
There
to
are
go
a lot of
there for
people
the
who
last
say
30
Trump.
years.
If Trump says we're going to do it, we're going to do it. Dude, how many fucking this is why I'm done with both sides. How many politicians? Tulsi Gabbard. I have a sweater. I will never wear her sweater again because she came out 3 months ago and said Iran doesn't have nuclear capabilities, and they're not seeking it. Trump gets mad at her once, and now she's like, Trump was right. I was wrong. Trump is right. You are a fucking spineless person. How many politicians are like this now? And I get that that's all it is, but they don't give it. They don't care about us. Politicians do not. Either side, if they gave they truly gave any care about any of us. That's why. If they give any care, they would really truly care about the deficit. This big beautiful bill potentially there's hidden there's a hidden they're talking about adding $3 trillion. There's a hidden $3 trillion they won't talk about because they know the tax deficit that we're in right now with Trump's policy. They don't consider that addition to the $3 trillion that he's going to add on.
Yeah.
So it's $6 trillion.
Yep.
Over the next 5 years. No one talks about that.
Yeah.
They don't care because as long as they get rich, they don't care how the world goes.
Oh yeah, they're just.
And again, I know that's a little conspiracy bullshit, but from the bottom of my heart, only if a politician truly cared about anything, they would care about how bad the deficit is. But nobody cares. So they don't. As long as they're making enough money because they can protect themselves, they don't give a shit about America.
Yeah.
Either side doesn't give a shit about America at all.
No.
Bernie Sanders talked about it. Campaign financing, talked about it. He might give a little bit. He didn't talk about the deficits. That truly was going to hurt us.
It's because he's for pro-social policies or spending a lot of money.
But he understands that we need the tax, and he's talking about tax. And he was on Joe Rogan this week, and Joe Rogan he's such in a bubble. He quoted a environmental study that he quoted it wrong. Like if he had read the article, it actually says that humans are contributing to global warming. But he said it showed that we weren't, and we're in a cold. He was absolutely wrong. But he talks about damn it, I'm trying to think of what they were talking about with the global financing. Damn it, I just lost my train of thought. With
anything to do with NATO?
No, it was him and Joe agreed on political or the financing of like the PACs where that can give
Super PACs.
Yeah, super PACs.
Oh, super
Elon
PACs
Musk
that
was able to give one individual was able to give 230 million, and then he comes up at 1.5 billion to Kamala, and it's like, well, all Democrats' support was 1.5 billion.
Yeah.
Trump was more than that.
Yeah.
But and if you would, if you look at that, the biggest contributor was 50 billion compared to 50 million compared to 230 million. Elon
Single,
gave
like lump sum donation.
But okay, again, we just dove into this, but I'm saying I don't feel like any politician truly, if anybody wanted to have that conversation, it has to start with our deficits.
I do. I mean, like, I 100% agree, but I wonder. I know it's just like you get. It just feels so corrupt, and like you're saying, like everyone's out for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's so selfish that even if you have like 20 good people in each part, like it's not enough to
help.
It's you almost have to become a figurehead.
You got to get out of your bed. Yeah.
Like
Here's the one
Trump.
thing I wanted to say. What I wanted to come back to was the tax. Bernie wanted to go 90% taxes on over $1 billion. And Joe was like,
so if you have wealth of over $1 billion, or you have income over $1 billion?
Income over $1 billion. He wanted the tax.
Most people don't have income over $1 billion, which I realized.
Oh, so that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
So once you put your first dollar over, I think maybe it was even $1 million. I'm sorry, it was probably $1 million.
No,
sorry, I apologize. So the first dollar over $1 million is taxed at 90%. And Joe was like, "You want to tax me at 90% to give to a?" And he's like, "Well," and Bernie was not on his game. If Bernie would have been smart and said, "Hey,"
Bernie's pretty old though.
Yes, he would have said, "Hey, Joe, if you make $1,000 over $1 million, we're going to tax that $1,000 at 90%, not the first million." I don't know if I agree with that, but I'm just saying it's a way different conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, boys, have a good night.
Yep, you too, buddy. Be safe.
Pat.
Enjoy that Dave Matthews. I don't know what we're doing yet.
Not sure. Wait, he's going to Dave Matthews' band?
Yeah, this is the second night.
Oh shit! Where at? Alsip?
It's in Northern Ireland.
Oh wow.
Yep. All right, buddy. Yep.
Adios, Pat.
Let us know if you looking for an after night. We might be at Carol's. All right, buddy. But yeah, so politics, let it be. It is what. So Joe, you could get 5 minutes by yourself here. I gotta piss like a racehorse.
Oh, nice. All right.
Let the people know.
Myself and I. I'm glad I got these headphones back, so I can lean back now and just really be one with the people here to just discuss, discuss life. I've got a couple gripes. Here's some grind my gears for the people. I've heard the new Disney intro song to some movies. Not a fan. It's too long. It's too winded. They're trying to capture some of the essence. Not a fan. What's next? A lot of speed cameras going up in Chicago. Those are no bueno, my friend. Not a fan of that either. Probably got 2 tickets just this week. So not really enjoying that very much. What else we got? It's been boiling here in Chicago. Let me tell you something. Thank God. I was like, with it so abruptly, I was like, I didn't know what to go into. Yeah.
I feel bad. I farted and it carried, Joe. It carried. I had Mediterranean. This man was making me eat some things I've never seen before. We're gonna be all right. But here, so on that crazy note, it's funny because you think it would be easy to think about Bill Burr does a 30-minute podcast every morning, Monday morning quarterback or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
And it's on a Thursday, and he just rips it and tears it apart.
I mean, he is a trained professional that's been doing it, and I'm not trying to take away. I don't mean it like that.
I wonder if I could do it.
But I mean, I was telling my dad this on the way to Top Golf. He brought up Brad Pitt has a new movie coming out, Formula One.
Yep.
And he goes, Brad Pitt trained to do almost 200 miles an hour in a Formula One car. And I go, Dad, I don't know what TV show you were watching and what interview that was said in, and maybe they did say that, but I can tell you with 100% certainty that there is absolutely no chance that he went that fast. I go, maybe he was in. I don't deny that he could have been in the driver's seat, maybe doing some scenes.
Oh, yeah. They're not putting that, yeah.
I'm like, now if you told me Tom Cruise, maybe I'd believe it, because Tom Cruise would go through like a 2-year process to get up to this just so he could be like, they could like have a drone in front of him and, like as he's going down this thing. I was like, this is what I was going to get at. There are like several things that most people say they can always do.
Oh, yeah.
They say they can drive if they need to. Like they can drive like I could race a car.
Oh, yeah. No chance.
There's no fucking chance. No chance. Not saying I can do these. I'm not saying I can do these, just to be very clear. Everybody says they can drive. Everybody says they can fight. And everybody says, I forget the third one now. But it's like there's always like a couple.
Feels like everybody says they can do their own taxes.
Maybe, yeah, right.
It's funny because I think I can fight. And I'm always like ready. Like, if I got to handle myself. And then it's like, bro, if you ever went up against a guy who could fight, you're going to get your ass kicked. Like, here's a crazy thing. Think about the Liver King Joe Rogan situation.
Oh, man.
That
he got
dumb,
arrested.
He needs help.
Oh, yeah. I just saw a bit about it. I didn't watch any of the videos specifically, but they pulled up a clip. And somebody was saying, like, how his pupils were so huge. So, funny story, actually. And of all people, Brendan Schaub actually discussed what happened with that. That has nothing to do with drugs. Those bands that you use, like workout bands? Yeah.
One snapped and whacked him in the eye.
Oh.
And fucked up his cornea or one.
Is that when he was doing his crazy intense core workout bullshit?
Yes.
Did you see those stupid ass videos where he's like working out the core and it's like, what the fuck are you? Why do you have a bajillion bands wrapped around like?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he slapped. One snapped and hit him in the eye, and they wanted to remove his eye, and he got stem cells to his eye, and it saved his eye. But that's the aftermath of that unfortunate situation.
Did it also like kill a bunch of brain cells? So he's like threatening to kill Joe Rogan?
He's literally hadn't slept there. What they were thinking is he was talking about he hadn't slept in like 4 days.
That dude's going through something. Like
he's mentally at a break.
I mean, he is like, I get the media aspect of like, if I throw out a bunch of stuff about Joe Rogan, it'll keep me in the ether, like. Yeah. But then he just like went crazy.
He doesn't shower.
Yeah, dude's
doesn't shower. He takes coffee enemas. The dude, his mental, he's gone.
Yeah, his mental state is schwack.
He needs help. And you know what's the crazy part is? He's got his kids and his wife are around him 24/7.
Oh yeah.
How does not somebody say, "Hey, woo, we're gonna go"? So
they probably do.
Brendan Schaub did it. A nice thing, like thinking about this. Like, let's think about this out loud. So, okay, I'm on Liver King's team. He's like, hey, we're gonna go fight Joe Rogan. Okay, cool. I like a road trip. Like Brendan Schaub said this. I like a road trip. Like, how about we plan this out? What are we thinking? We're gonna go to his house where his family lives, and he's got 7 ex-SEAL team members guarding him at all times. Okay, no. Are we going to go to his compound where he does his podcast, where he has 7 ex-SEAL members? Or are we going to go to the Rogan Sphere or the mothership where he has 7 SEAL team members around him at all times? Fine. Okay, Liver King, I get it. You're manifest it. You'll get ahead of them. Somehow you'll get around these 7 ex-SEAL members. You're going to fight a black belt jiu-jitsu who taught John St. Pierre his leg kick. You're going to fight him. And you have 0 experience? Cool. Like, how does that not, like, somebody come up and say, hey, bud, this doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
You're either going to get starched or you're going to actually hurt somebody with a gun.
I wouldn't be surprised if he has much of a team anymore. Maybe like pre-steroid stuff. He was
No,
getting all the views.
So people don't understand this. If you watch the documentary, his vitamin company, like his actual vitamin company, like he paid to become as popular as he is.
Yeah.
His vitamin company made him tons of money because like those vitamins are actually, I don't know anymore as much, but his vitamin thing made him hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh wow!
So he's fine financially. He's just fucking.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, you're right. Who knows what he's done? But
Mike Tyson, one of the richest athletes ever, fucking ruined it all.
I mean, his house has got to be worth like, if you ever seen his actual ranch,
It's like a compound.
Oh, dude,
of sorts.
it's got to be worth like millions.
But you gotta think like he's got that all paid for. And
That's what I'm
hopefully
thinking. Yeah,
he's lived,
yeah. So if he
'cause
sold
lives
that,
in
he'd
Texas, right?
be. Yeah, I think
He
Houston.
also- he
Houston,
also-
Oklahoma or Texas is one somebody said.
Okay. And I don't, all you got to do, hopefully, is pay taxes on it.
So that's why you got to surround yourself with good people. Like I know he's with his family, but it's hard to tell family.
Yeah, especially your dad. Like, I mean, there's no way. I don't want to say there's no way, but that's a difficult situation to be in.
I don't know if I think you just have a bad relationship with your father though. I mean, I grew up. If my dad was acting stupid, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, if my dad was too,
yeah,
I'd say
acting a
something.
fool. Be like, yo, chill the fuck out. We'll hold on. We'll handle this. What are you doing? Why are you getting mad?
But these kids are
It's a different
properly
situation.
kids. I mean, I think
I think one's anywhere from 14. Like he's got to be close to. It could have been if he was actually going to school.
That's also another.
Also,
thing.
my mom would slap the shit out of my dad if he was acting like
Yeah,
this.
But these are you have normal parents. These are not normal people.
Easy enough to.
How far?
You know what?
Just take.
That's
how
the problem with me.
far
That's
removed fucking Liver King is that he got caught taking steroids, stopped, and then said, you know what? I'm gonna keep taking them. I mean, from that point on, he was like gone.
No, yeah, you're right. That.
You're not dealing with a full deck of cards. With
you think
probably
common sense
him
is it's
or
not
the family,
it's
and I
not-
don't mean it as
it's
a
not
slight to
common.
the family, but I mean like they're getting wrapped up in it too.
talk about stupid ass shit. You see, the Jeff Bezos getting married this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Do you know how much his wedding cost?
I have no clue, but I heard he rented like a town.
$50 million. So let me tell you what. So
I heard a bunch of celebrities are showing up. There were some Italian people saying, I've lived in this village my entire life. Why can't I go walk in this area? And they're like, sorry, it's shut down for a private event. And he's like, this is a town. This is not an event. This is a town.
he rented all the water taxis. His wedding cost 1,000 times what mine did. 1,000 times.
Fuck. How much did his go for?
$50 million. Can you?
Whoa.
$50 million on a weekend.
Also, not to be a dick, why are you even getting married? Like,
Oh,
at
yeah.
this point? Why are you even getting
You know
married?
what? And can I also say, I think his ex-wife, much more attractive than his new wife. Personally, for me,
I don't even know what this lady looks like.
I personally think I think she's gotten a little bit of work done. I think you can tell a little bit more. I think Mackenzie Bezos was a much more attractive, natural, sweet woman. But then again, we have different tastes. He probably had the natural and sweet, and she was down to earth and normal, and he wanted a little crazy. Because that's all I can say.
Oh, I see it.
I don't want to be a dick. I just, in my personal opinion, my likes are a little bit more natural.
Yeah. No, there's a side-by-side ex-wife and then fiance, which is now wife. And it's like, no, I'm with you.
Listen. And if he's happy, I'm happy for him. And he put $50 million into the economy.
I mean, for him, that's probably like a drop in the bucket.
He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
He's like, I sneezed. I just spent $50 million.
He truly couldn't spend $1 billion in his lifetime.
Yeah.
So it's not like, he spent $500 million on a yacht. That he's gone around the country. If he wants to go through a country and he has to rebuild a bridge, he'll pay for it.
Yeah.
That's the amount of wealth that I get that I don't know that people should have.
I was just thinking that's like, not that he is a supervillain or saying but like that is like supervillain level rich. Like there's no need to have
That much money?
that much money.
Because when you're paying people, and when you're in Amazon, and people have to piss in a bottle because you don't give them enough time.
Yeah.
But you're able to spend to build a new bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that work? How's that work?
You rent an entire town
For $50 million.
like
But you're forcing your drivers to piss in bottles because you want efficiency.
the dichotomy there is just too extreme.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
Again,
not right.
we're not a political, but I mean, just think about that. Common sense. I'm all for capitalism. I'm not saying anything else besides that, but I'm just thinking that you can have capitalism with caps, I think.
Yeah.
Health insurances, you can cap them at making $2 billion, $3 billion. They're currently making 6 to 10. If we kept them at $3 billion a year, they can net $3 billion a year. Think about that, first of all. And you save anywhere from 7 to 3 billion. That goes back to the patient. I don't know why. I mean, me personally, I don't know how that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
You're letting them grow to 3 billion, and if they only grow to 3 billion, fine. That means that they're pushing out whatever the net, and they're not pushing so hard to get, because for stock companies, for public companies. Great, you made $3 billion this year. I want $4 billion next year. Oh yeah, $4 billion this year. I want $5 billion this year.
Yeah.
You can't get stale.
I mean that constant growth
Yes.
is what ruins a lot of companies.
Yep.
And you always hear like, oh, they had to cut costs. So, I used to love Potbelly's. And
Yes.
Potbelly's was so good. Great portions, great meats.
Oh,
felt
yes.
like it came from a deli down the street
Yeah,
or something.
100%. And the first time, I'm sorry, not to cut you off,
Yeah.
but the first people who toasted a sub, or like a chain that toasted a sub, was
Yeah. And so you're like, wow, this is so good. And then the meat gets a little thinner. And then the meat comes from a different supplier. And these are all these things to constantly
It takes longer.
grow your income. And you got to start cutting costs, and that cost comes into the service. That cost comes into the stations and the
quality of
offerings
food, yeah.
and the quality of food and the suppliers of
And
food.
now you're done.
Yeah, and then
And we
all
don't
of
see
a
it.
sudden people don't like your shit anymore, and then it's
Yep.
over.
I can't remember the name of the stupid. I love this one guy who's on YouTube. He does all the old fast food chains, and there used to be a fish and chip place. I forget the name of it, and this place killed it. But they had a 600 worldwide, and people back in the day used to love fish and chips, and this place was known. But there was a cod shortage in the 70s or something, so they went to a cheaper fish because they had to they had to grow whatever, and then people were like, "Oh, this is shit,"
Yeah.
and now they're out of business.
Yeah.
Blockbuster could have bought Netflix, could have been, then just didn't do it.
I was listening to Hassan Minhaj.
Yeah,
Hassan Minhaj. He does these like YouTube interviews, and he had this. He just had like a general on that I really want to watch. He was talking about war, but this other guy was this financial guy. I completely lost why I was going to relate.
because we were talking about cod and fish and changing things, and it went to shit, and it's always about the
bottom dollar.
yeah, bottom dollar. And
I don't know how I was going to relate it to that. Fuck, I'm sorry.
I'm like upset with myself. I'm like, how do I keep? We get into conversations, and then it's like, oh, and there that conversation out the brain.
Literally, as I was saying it, I was like, wait, my brain.
But
Just
you were talking
completely
about
shut down.
Hashanah and his podcast and or you want to listen to a general, but then you had a.
Well, I mean, this podcast, it was a financial podcast. It was just about like wealth and growing wealth, and I don't know. I think it was going to tie to the S&P 500, but
okay.
I don't know.
Crazy story. I don't know how true this is, but somebody supposedly, I saw that somebody did the math on this, but you know how the Lakers were bought? I think don't quote me on this, but I think it was like just under $600 million.
Okay.
For the Lakers and the stadium.
Okay.
And they just sold at a valuation of $10 billion.
So when they got bought last time.
So Jeannie
cost?
Buss just sold her shares of the Lakers at a valuation of $10 billion.
Okay.
Supposedly, had Jerry Buss, was her father, had Jerry Buss just put the money into the S&P and let it grow, he would have made more. Wow. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, the guy
from 600 to 10 billion, you're like, oh, that's great. And then he's like, no. If you just, but then he had to do all this work and blah, 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 blah. Had he just let it sit. Let it ride.
There was
baby.
something. There was actually they talked about the S&P 500 on the podcast, and they said if you had put, he talked about 1973 is when he started investing. This guy that he had on,
Yep.
and he goes, had I put money into the S&P 500, I would have grown that wealth on average 12% every year. Through like 50 years.
But that's like some years you have -30, some years you have +40. Like it's
True.
not a linear 12.
It's not a linear 12.
Yeah.
It's the average. But he goes, that's also compounding. He goes, if I just invested in that, I would have been wealthier than any other financial decision. And he goes, yeah, but what about, and he brings up FANG, which is like Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, I forget what the G stands for. Google, thank you. And then NVIDIA. And he goes, what if I just did this? And he's like, NVIDIA 2,000%. And he's like, that's great, but nobody knows those things are happening. Like, you can invest in those, but he's like, your best bet is to just
more.
Get in an index fund.
Yeah.
And it's one of the safest, best financial decisions you can make. And
my biggest probably stock purchase when I was in 2016 was $3,000 and it was NVIDIA.
Wow.
And I was very lucky. This is the biggest stock position I have.
Yeah.
And I kicked myself in the ass for not buying more. I've never spent $3,000 on a stock or stocks in my life.
Wait, do you still have that though?
Oh yeah.
That's fantastic.
Well, it's when you sell. It's all paper gains until you sell it.
Yeah.
But
do like the rich and take a loan against it, and then you got money, baby.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Well, I'll never think that way. You know why? Because my fucking parents screwed me over. I'm so scared of doing like.
Heard about that? I was like, this is. I didn't even know that was a thing you could do.
Yep. You can take a loan off your 401k.
This is how millionaires billionaires afford to do these things, and they never pay taxes on their money because they never cash it out. They just take loans and then. Whatever the problem is, though, they blop and then
we had an investment. We're an investment right now that did that, and then the stock market crashed, and then now your loans are worth shit. And then if they call those loans, that's the scary part. Like they don't talk like, you know, this is why I feel like we're getting closer and closer to 2008.
Yeah.
1 second. When I was in high school, I had a teacher who said, "Hey, I can make you a millionaire in a year." And so we're 18 years old, like. Oh, just give me that secret, baby.
Yeah.
Buy this house. Guaranteed equity you'll have equity growth in it in 6 months. Take that equity, buy this house. Guaranteed 6 months you have equity in this house. You'll be a millionaire. You'll have equity you have a building's worth $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
In it. I'll have it into you in a year and a half. This is 2006. You wouldn't have recovered now.
Yeah.
Had you done what he had said.
Yeah.
But people are telling you go loan based off your wealth. Go loan. Nothing. The stock market only goes up.
Yeah.
This is the time this is when shit fucking hits the bell. And you would think, I mean, April tariffs come. We have like a 20% correction. We're already at all-time highs.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense anymore.
It's fucking nuts.
That makes zero sense. Okay. Last week's news. So Lauren and I went for sushi last night, but we had to wait. We got a reservation. We had to wait. So we walked over to Home Goods. First of all, love Home Goods. Lauren sent the girls, because Lauren didn't like this one thing I saw, and she sent a picture like, Peter's mad at me because I don't like this. And like Sarah goes, why would you ever take a guy to Home Goods? They just don't understand it. I'm like, Sarah, I'm going to Wisconsin. I'm going to slap a mother. Talk about, I love me some Home Goods. I was like, the boys and me were going to do date night at Home Goods together. Dude, had recliner chairs for $100. We had every fucking type of chip you could. I was like, this place is amazing.
Oh, hold on. This is making me think of like boys versus girls. Okay, a question came up, and maybe you came across this question. Maybe Lauren brought this up to you. Brian and Grecia were moving. They had a plunger. And apparently they had used said plunger once or twice.
Of course.
It's been in there. Or more recent. I'm guessing it came around the time of the wedding because it was a more expensive plunger. It was nice. And so that's just a guess, though, to give you whatever background to that. So he's got it in a bag, and we're like loading stuff up in the car. And Grecia's like, "Why would you take that? We're just gonna toss that." And he's like, "That plunger was like $20. It's a nice plunger. Like it's why not take
You have
it?"
3 bathrooms.
And he's yeah, exactly. She's like, "No, I think we should just toss it, buy a new one." So then they're going back and forth, like toss it, keep it, toss it. Grecia turns to me and she's like, "What would you do, Joe?" And I go, "I can tell you what I could say this. Whatever the decision I would make is not the decision that Sarah would like." And that's how I left that. I was like, I'm not getting into this one. Grecia texted to the group. Lauren goes, 1,000% Peter would say keep it. I would also keep it. I'm like, I don't understand why we're going to toss this thing just to buy a new one at the house. Like, that just seems like a waste. And the girls' responses are, it's been used. It's dirty. Why would you put that in a cart? Now, he had it in a garbage bag, like covered up and whatever. But the guys were like, take it. The girls were like, fucking burn it at the stake like it's a witch in Salem. Get it? I don't even want dust getting into the air. Eviscerated off the face of this planet. I just didn't get it.
These are the women. Here's the thing.
I can tell you, every guy.
I'm not going to go there. It's just the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Every guy would be like,
What?
keep it. Every girl is like, burn it.
What? Brian did the right thing. You put it in a bag so it doesn't touch anything. It sits in your bathroom. Here's the thing.
It did not make it to the car, by the way. We went down, and she's like, I'm going to text the girls and see what they say. Text the girls. We came up. She's like, the girls say we're tossing it. We're tossing it. And I was like, all right. Me and Brian were like, yep, cool. Expected that to happen.
But here's the thing.
Better
You
not
get to
to
your
fight
house
it.
and you need a plunger.
Yup. Buy a new one. You better order it on Amazon before something comes up.
There's no chance that would happen. Laura and I have she's like, she wants to donate. She's like, when we buy a house, the Goodwill is going to be a bucket full. And I'm like, of your shit? Because you ain't touching my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck you think you're throwing out of here?
So it was like, we're going to get rid of stuff. And I was like, I barely have anything.
Yeah. Oh, here's the other thing. She's like, you have too many sweaters. You have fucking clothes you have containers full of different seasonal clothes in our storage room. I have one closet
I have
full
a
of clothes.
closet. Same thing. For me, I have a closet and a dresser. All right? Closet has like more businessy stuff for like work, like suits and stuff. The dresser's like T-shirts, shorts, more casual. Sarah has an entire fucking bedroom that she uses with a huge closet in there. Like, it's like twice the width of mine. She's got multiple dressers. She's got a vanity. She's got it's like, don't tell me I got to get rid of my clothes. My clothes, some of my clothes it's got holes in them. I still haven't gotten rid of them. All right? You don't, I'm doing okay over here. All right? Let's turn that.
I'm glad that this isn't like a me situation. Like, this is like, but here's the thing. I swear to God, I would rather have what Lauren's like, because I'm too much of I'm a bit of a pack rat. Like, I will keep, but I don't spend money on any, like, me and Tom had this conversation. I'll never spend money on a nice watch, nice clothes, nice shoes. I would rather spend $400 on an experience all day.
I'm kind of like that too.
Than ever buy anything that's like my shoes. I get the same pair of shoes. They're $30.
Yeah.
They're actually just the company closed. I was really sad.
That happened with my headphones. My running headphones are going to shit, and I was like, let me look at the new version. Whole company went out of business. I was like, fuck.
I know. I gotta find some too. Lauren got me a really nice running belt, and I can actually, I just need Bluetooth because my phone can sit in my wallet and the belt. And I'm like, I've never found headphones that like wireless ones that I like.
I would recommend these, but the fucking company's out.
Chris and I had one pair and they're $75 and they were great. And the quality now is dog shit. They don't last a month. $75 for a month? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. But so this whole thing comes down to, Lauren was telling me about, have you heard of Summer Ween?
What? No.
Summer Ween. Halloween in the summer. People are decorating their houses in Halloween.
What the fuck? What?
I don't. People are stupid. And then so Lauren, we go to Home Goods. Halloween stuff. 2-3 rows of Halloween stuff.
This is. You want to talk about maximizing profits and continuously?
Who got this out there?
getting new
Deserves.
There's no fucking chance some fucking jamoke just was like, I love Halloween. I'm gonna pick a random time in summer to throw it out there, and it caught wind and it took over the nation.
You're
No,
100%
no.
right. Nope. It got put into TikTok. I love Halloween, and I don't think we give enough time.
I wonder
Let's
how
start
much
Summer
Wayfair
Ween.
and Home Goods and Bed Bath to be honest,
Yeah.
no more. But fucking all Target, how much did they put into that?
I'm like, Lauren,
Jesus.
we're not getting. I'm like, Lauren, we're not doing this. We don't decorate anyways, but I'm like, we're not doing any of this. But I did see a Cookie Monster Halloween thing, and Lauren was like, that's dumb. And I'm like, and then she shows me the dumbest things, like some like 2 cats in a thing, or like 2 pickles in a fucking Halloween thing. I'm like, really? Cookie Monster, a legend. And you're gonna shit on him because he's a little bit colorful for your 2 stupid pickles and a pumpkin? I was so mad. I'm like, get out of my face. We're not talking right now.
I thought I married a woman of class.
That's what I'm saying. They're fucking trying to get rid of Sesame, and you can't even give Cookie Monster a goddamn break. God damn it. I'm okay. All right.
Breathe. We all have those moments. We definitely, I could say, for definitive certainty, have had those moments as well. Because
I
logic
have
just
like
goes out
3
the
things.
window.
I hope I can remember them because whatever reason my brain, beer brain is not working as well. But I have 3 things that after the podcast remind me to tell you another one about breathe. Actually, you were there for this too, so we'll talk about it later. But all right, so feel good.
Feel goods, baby.
And we'll get out of here. All right, Texas mailman adopts beloved dog from his old route after its Vietnam veteran owner passes away. So that's sweet. So the dog didn't have to go into.
That's nice.
Yeah. That.
Especially because he's familiar too with him. Like that definitely has to help a lot.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That. Yeah. And well, I mean, in the picture, the
Literally
dog
the
looks
guy you see daily,
insanely happy.
That's great.
Yeah. Miracle happens. Woman uses CPR training she learned 40 years ago to save teen baseball player's life. This teen also, I'm sorry, teen. You look about 40, bro.
Oh, shit.
Jesus Christ, buddy. That's awesome, though. I would, if anybody needs CPR, they would die if they needed it for me. I currently have no idea how to do CPR.
I do.
That's good.
Yeah.
I know that you don't do the breath anymore. It's just the compressions at this point.
Yeah. They do. They now recommend carrying like this plastic thing to cover the mouth so you don't spread germs.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like that's a lot. Nobody's gonna have that on them when.
Yeah.
Shit
No,
hits the fan like that.
I thought I've heard that like the breathing in doesn't really do it. It's about keeping the heart going.
Yeah,
it's
the
truly
blood
about
circulation is
yeah.
the hugest thing.
Getting the brain or the blood to the brain. This is crazy. Ash trees in Britain are evolving in resistance to fungal disease that was devastating woodlands. So in a very short time, they're evolving to be like, all right, we got to stop.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nature's the shit.
Parasailer operator turns into rescuer after storm hits the Jersey Shore. So it looked like this guy had to pick up a couple people who were drowning.
Stranded.
Yeah,
that's
sucks.
awesome. I mean, you got to think. We were out in Florida, I believe.
Yeah.
And some guy picked up felt like 100 feet in the air.
Oh.
Felt like. Now you got to think during a storm, and this guy's the skill. He's probably like picking people up, and you're like, how do you handle 5 people? It's like, if this guy's got the skills, he's probably there. He's like, grab my board, hold on tight, and then he just takes off like a fucking superhero. That's got to be insane what that guy did. Like the level of skill, technique, precision
to get him in and get him out. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Police ask Boston seniors to walk the beat with them to get exercise and make friends. Oh, that's kind of cool.
That's sweet.
And it's also, it's kind of a nice way to like patrol the area too.
Yeah.
Something we didn't talk about, but Pat would probably be a better conversation. But Karen Reed out of Boston, she was she was charged with killing her boyfriend.
Oh yes.
She went through one trial, was a mistrial. And then the second trial, it was she was
free.
Yep, she was not guilty.
She only got charged with drunk driving.
And I think, I don't know that I'm not sure who killed him, but I think there was enough reasonable doubt that you cannot convict her.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you got a guy who is expected to come over to a bunch of cops' houses to hang out, and like, even if, let's just say hypothetically she did do this, whether she did it on purpose or not, right? Just say, Schrodinger's cat. Nobody knows if she did it on purpose or not. Hit this guy and he died like he did. You don't like, it just seems weird to me that nobody looked out the window being like, dude, when is he getting here? Nobody checked in. Like, that's a bit fishy. Yep. I'm not saying she didn't do it, but it's also like there's some weird shit going on.
They sold their family. This home has been in the family for a very long time.
Yeah,
sold the family, the house. They got rid of the dogs that were supposedly a part of this.
That's the other thing. Like he had marks that were not consistent with being struck by a car. They just so happened to look like dog bites. It's like there's some weird shit going on.
So it sounds like he got there, was pissed drunk, pissed at his girlfriend, got into an altercation. They beat the shit out of him, tossed him out. Yeah. And they'll never get convicted.
Yep.
Well, that's how it is.
I think that's why people were so happy, because I saw a clip of her when she came out of the courtroom, and I mean, it was like a concert cheer. And I think people,
that's kind of weird too. Yeah, like these.
It is very weird.
Because the family, you got to give respect to this poor guy's family who have to do it. They think she killed him.
But I feel like a lot of people probably have this perspective that you just shared and was like, there's no way this woman should go. Thank God she's free.
Yeah.
Like, it's not her fault. Like, don't blame her. This is a cover up. Like, thank God she's free. But yeah, like you said, it probably didn't feel good for the family of that guy, because they're like, we just want justice for him.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
12-year-old boy saves family from blaze and secures future job by impressing the fire chief.
I heard about this. Did you hear about this?
I didn't.
He's got a bunch of little brothers. This kid's getting interviewed. Saved basically like all his siblings for this like fire that went crazy. He gets interviewed, and they're like, "Do you understand that you're a hero?" This kid's maybe like 12.
Yeah,
maybe
he's 12. He's 12. Yep.
And he's like, "No, those are my brothers. Like, I just gotta take care of them."
Yeah.
He did such a great job. Yeah, the fire department said, when you turn 18, you're guaranteed a job with us.
That's awesome.
For life, like, if you want it.
And God willing, he's smart enough to take that.
Kid's humble. I hope so. I mean, the kid seemed like he had a good head on his shoulders. Like, he was just so humble and so nice about it. He's like, yeah, I'm trying to protect my family.
And God willing, there'd be more people like that. Think about that. Like if we ever did, I think we'd be a little bit in
government. Put someone like that kid in there.
Seriously,
like just a true
talking about that,
heart of gold.
You got this in New York. They got this mayor who's he considered himself a social democrat, and everybody's all up in arms, and it's like, he's talking to the people. He's hitting a chord. What is he saying that people are not getting? I'm not saying he's right, because I don't believe, I don't think he's a socialist though. I don't think he's a socialist. Mm-hmm. I think, yes, you do say, hey, I want to offer these free things. I want to do this. But I think he's getting at the core of things of, shit's really expensive.
Yeah.
And the government's not doing anything for us. I'm paying a fuck ton of taxes. The rich are not paying a fuck ton of taxes. Like, we need to flip this somehow.
I think, I'll say this.
Yep.
I think because he happens to just have brown skin, people don't like him. And I think that's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, on a positive note, I think people like him. He happens to be in New York. AOC is, from New York.
Yep.
But you're starting to get these younger people in politics who have a very different view from those who have been in politics, like these 50, 60, 70, 80, fucking 90-year-olds.
Como, who was kicked out of government. We
This
don't
dude-
even get into his record, and he's the this is Democrats.
I was
This is who you're
blown
bringing
away.
in.
I
You
was
fucking
blown
stupid
away.
motherfuckers.
I was blown away that they were like, "Hey, this guy
Yep.
basically got booted from the office
Basically
of
killed
governor."
a ton of elderly people, keeping them stuck in nursing homes.
Yep.
And you think he's the best option for New
Yep.
York mayor? Then you know what? That tells me I'm done with both parties.
I think that's what's happening.
Yep.
I think people are like, and you see it in New York apparently way more than anywhere else.
Yep.
Younger people are being elected purely because they don't have this fucking history of being corrupted by government.
Yep. And he just I don't believe in all his policies. Like
Same, yeah.
Do you really want government running your grocery stores? No, the government can't run a fucking city. And now we have to expect them to get us groceries. Imagine the fucking
some of the stuff he claims he's going to change.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the power as mayor
Yes.
to do.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
Think about a grocery store like a DMV. You'd fucking want to blow your brains out.
Oh yeah.
There's no way. But I understand what people are fed up. And
I get why
Yes.
he's being elected, because people see
change.
a young hope.
Even just change.
It's like Obama. Like, you just want change. That's exactly it.
You want
Like,
somebody
you
younger
want
who's got some like real world experience, who's been through the shit we've been through. Everybody who's fucking 50 and 60 and above, they don't fucking understand. 9/11.
They don't even know how
Iraq
Wi-Fi works.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, we're going to decide the internet and ChatGPT
Yeah,
and
you
fucking
fucking
AI.
idiots.
Goddamn.
all right. We'll actually finish on some
All
feel
right.
good.
One last.
All right, two last ones here. Ireland shuts last coal plant, becomes 15th coal-free country in Europe. And I know people, but like Joe Rogan comes up with some bullshit ass climate change denier shit.
Nonsense.
This is great.
That's
if you can do it,
fantastic.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for Ireland. This one is really cool. Another person a lot of people hate or love, but whatever you think of her, she does do a lot of good. After Taylor Swift visits Children's Hospital, her fans donate tens of thousands to the patients at that hospital.
Wow.
And these people their families are probably getting killed because our healthcare costs an arm and a
Yeah.
fucking leg these days.
Fuck yeah.
And insurance companies have to make $10 billion in profit or they can't give anything.
I mean,
So-
that is fantastic, though, that just by being involved in that, her fans are like, that's great.
Yeah.
That is
Absolutely.
fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, on that beautiful note, it's a Joe and Peter night.
Yeah.
Chris
buddy.
McGraw out and killing. He might be drunk already. Brian Hamilton's out in San Diego.
We might be drunk.
Yeah, you might. I'm definitely fucking drunk. Pat Lynch is at Dave Matthews. And we've got, and Danny Hamilton he's got one a month. That's all he's got him in these days. He's the young buck and he can only do one a month.
He's got different priorities. Different
Yeah,
priorities.
you gotta love him. These young bucks. All right, let's see if we can do this together. All right.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, do us a favor, hit that like, subscribe. Hit us up on the S&P podcast at gmail.com. Have a wonderful weekend.